The Earth burned. Skies choked with ash. The last remnants of the United Earth Defense Fleet had been wiped from orbit, their wreckage falling like meteor showers over cities that once stood proud. The Galactic Dominion's warships loomed above, their presence a silent declaration. Humanity's time was over. A transmission flickered to life, broadcasted across every surviving screen. A towering, insectoid figure, clad in regal exoskeletal armor, stared down at a broken world. Its mandibles clicked as the translator hummed. "Humans of Earth, your struggle is over. Surrender now, and you will be permitted to serve. Resist, and your species will be erased." Silence. Across the ruins of cities, underground bunkers, and hidden outposts, there was no response. The Dominion had seen this before, worlds that held out in stubborn defiance, only to crumble beneath the inevitable. They expected compliance. They did not expect Iron Requiem. Deep beneath the surface, within a concealed military installation, humanity's last weapon was preparing to rise. Engineers and scientists moved with grim determination, finalizing pre-launch sequences. The ship, Earth's first and only Star Destroyer, had remained a secret even as the war raged above. Unlike anything humanity had ever built, it was the culmination of desperation and genius, a war machine crafted for one purpose: to defy extinction. Inside the dimly lit command chamber, Admiral Elias Voss stood before his crew, men and women handpicked not just for their skill, but for their unwavering resolve. There were no illusions here. They knew this wasn't a mission. It was a last stand. "Final status check," Voss ordered. "Primary reactor stable. Gravlance charged. AI combat protocols online. All systems green," replied Commander Hale, her voice steady. A final tremor shook the ground as orbital bombardment intensified. The Dominion was growing impatient. Voss took one last look at the people before him. "This is it. No retreat, no surrender. They think we're beaten. They think we'll kneel." He exhaled slowly. "They have no idea what's coming." The launch countdown began. Hydraulic clamps disengaged. Hidden doors carved into the Earth slid open, revealing a night sky dominated by enemy warships. Engines roared, pushing against gravity's grasp. The Iron Requiem rose, a titan of metal and fury, breaching through the smoke and fire of a dying world. The Dominion fleet took notice. Scanners locked onto the unknown vessel, analyzing, evaluating. To them, it was an impossibility. A species on the brink of annihilation should not have been capable of creating something new. A command relayed through the fleet. "Destroy it." Plasma turrets swiveled. Energy lances charged. The first barrage streaked toward the ascending warship. And that was when the Iron Requiem fired back. The moment of victory was brief. The Dominion flagship was gone, but the remaining fleet was far from broken. Retreating wasn't in their nature. They were predators, accustomed to overwhelming force. They regrouped, their battle tactics recalibrating, but they were still uncertain. They'd just lost a flagship to a human-made ship. As the enemy regrouped, the Iron Requiem pivoted, scanning the sky for targets. Its crew knew the stakes. There was no time for celebration. Voss's voice cut through the tension. "Get ready. They'll come at us with everything now." The Dominion, shocked and angered by their initial loss, shifted into a more aggressive formation. Smaller ships surged forward, their weapons primed. The plan was clear: isolate the Iron Requiem, break its shields, and overwhelm it with numbers. The arrogance of the Dominion was clear. They assumed they could exploit one vulnerability and finish what they started. But humanity's ship was designed for this. Every design choice had been made with an understanding of this very moment. The AI shifted gears, rerouting power to the shields, predicting the incoming enemy strikes with pinpoint accuracy. A salvo of plasma shots screamed toward the Iron Requiem, but it was too late. The shields held. The ship didn't even flinch. Instead, it fired back, each shot deliberate and precise. Dominion cruisers burst apart, their engines dying in flashes of violent light. "What do we do if they regroup?" Commander Hale asked. "We make them regret that decision," Voss replied. They've underestimated us long enough. The Iron Requiem surged forward, cutting through space like a blade, its railguns shredding anything that dared to stay in its path. The Dominion's smaller ships scattered, unable to form an effective counterattack. The human warship turned the tables on its pursuers, exploiting the very weaknesses they'd tried to use against it. Every move was calculated. Every action was a step toward victory. But then, something unexpected happened. A new ship appeared, far larger than any Dominion vessel seen before. The new warship, a colossal titan of gleaming black metal, emerged from a warp jump, its weapons primed and ready for destruction. It was a final test for the Iron Requiem. The human crew didn't hesitate. "Prepare the gravlance," Voss ordered. The ship's main weapon hummed, charging faster than it had ever before. The enemy ship powered its massive energy cannons, and in response, the Iron Requiem fired first. The gravlance sliced through the void, aiming directly at the heart of the enemy flagship. But the Dominion flagship had learned. It attempted to adjust its shields, to redirect its fire, but it was too slow. The gravlance struck with devastating force, punching a hole clean through the flagship's central core. The ship trembled, its hull cracking, its engines sputtering. It wasn't enough to completely destroy it, but it was enough to cripple the vessel beyond repair. The rest of the Dominion fleet, now leaderless and fractured, tried to regroup. But the damage was done. They had watched their flagship fall, watched their dominance crumble beneath the might of a single human-made ship. Fear rippled through the fleet. They were no longer certain of victory. They were no longer certain of anything. The AI of the Iron Requiem calculated their next move before they could even react. The remaining Dominion ships broke formation, attempting to flee, but the Iron Requiem was already on their tail. One by one, smaller ships fell as the human warship closed the distance, every shot precise, every moment of hesitation an advantage. The few remaining Dominion warships tried to escape, but they could no longer face the raw efficiency of the Iron Requiem's assault. The retreat had begun, but it wasn't just a tactical withdrawal. It was a surrender. The Dominion had tasted the might of humanity and found it more than they had ever anticipated.